In the shadows of Mount Olympus dwelt a goddess unlike any other, neither beautiful enough to be worshipped nor powerful enough to be feared at first. This is the story of Circe, daughter of the sun god Helios, whose transformation from overlooked nymph to formidable witch would reshape the very foundations of Greek mythology. Madeline Miller's groundbreaking 2018 novel, Circe, breathes new life into Homer's infamous enchantress. Gone is the one-dimensional seductress who turned men into swine. In her place stands a complex immortal woman who discovered that true power grows not from divine birthright, but from the earth itself. Born into the halls of gods, Circe was a disappointment from her first breath. Her voice came out weak and mortal-like, earning her father's scorn and her siblings' mockery. Yet in this rejection, she found her strength. While other nymphs spent eternities in endless revelry, Circe walked alone among the mortal world, gathering herbs and learning their secrets. Her first transformation of a mortal into something else wasn't born of malice, but of love. When she fell for a humble fisherman, she used her newfound knowledge of pharmaca, the art of herbal magic, to turn him into a god. But gods are jealous of their power, and her punishment was swift. Exile to the island of Aiaia became her sentence, meant as a prison, but transformed into her sanctuary. On Aiaia, Circe's power grew beyond anything the gods could have imagined. She learned to bend reality itself, turning threatening sailors into swine not out of cruelty but self-preservation. Each transformation taught her more about power, not the kind that thunders from mountaintops, but the subtle strength that flows through roots and stems, through knowledge earned rather than gifted. Miller's Reimagining challenges everything we thought we knew about this mythological figure. This Circe isn't defined by her relationships with men, though they shape her story. She's not the temptress of Homer's tales, but a woman who learned to protect herself in a world that offered no protection. Her magic comes not from divine gift, but from countless hours of study, trial, and error. The arrival of Odysseus on her shores becomes not just another conquest, but a turning point in understanding her own immortality. Through him, she learns that power isn't about duration, but about impact. His mortality makes every moment precious in a way her eternal life never could. It forces her to question whether immortality is a blessing or a curse. Perhaps most revolutionary is Miller's exploration of motherhood through Circe's eyes. When she bears a mortal child, she discovers a different kind of power, the fierce protection of a mother who would challenge both gods and fate to protect her own. This isn't the weakness her divine family would see it as, but a strength greater than any spell. As the centuries pass, Circe evolves from feared witch to something far more nuanced. A woman who understands that true power lies not in the ability to change others, but in the courage to transform oneself. Her story becomes an exploration of agency, of choosing one's own path, despite the dictates of gods or fate. Miller's Circe speaks to modern audiences because she embodies timeless truths about female power. It's not about being the most beautiful or the most deadly. It's about the quiet determination to master one's craft, the courage to stand alone, and the wisdom to know when to transform oneself rather than others. In the end, Circe makes the most radical transformation of all, a choice that defies everything we expect from stories of gods and mortals. She chooses her own fate, proving that the greatest power isn't in spells or immortality, but in the ability to write one's own story, even if it means leaving behind the divine for something far more precious, a life lived on one's own terms.